Hello everyone, welcome to today's Halloween review. Today we will be reviewing the movie The Phantom Creeps, which was originally released as a 12-part series, then was later edited into a 73-minute movie. The Phantom Creeps stars legendary screen actor Bela Lugosi and reunites him with Edwin Stanley, who also starred in Lugosi's 1931 Dracula film. With that out of the way, let's get into the synopsis and a quick review. The movie begins with Dr. Zorka, played by Bela Lugosi, showing off a number of weapons he's made to his henchman/assistant, Monk, who just so happens to be a convict who escaped from Alcatraz. Trust me, he mentions it so often that you will get kind of tired of it. Zorka is bragging about a new mineral he's discovered that was unknown to science and all he's done with it. Zorka's wife Anne, played by Dora Clement, and his former associate Dr. Mallory, played by Edwin Stanley, arrive, and Zorka shows off one of his inventions that can put a person into a permanent state of stasis using an explosive invisible gas, which is very visible for what I assume is the camera's sake, and a mechanical spider. Anne is horrified, and Dr. Mallory insists that Zorka hand over his invention to the government so they can control it safely. Zorka refuses, saying that if anyone wants his inventions, they can buy them for millions of dollars. After a heated argument, Zorka fakes his own death and leaves Anne and Mallory to inform Captain Bob West, played by Robert Kent, of military intelligence about Zorka's inventions. When the captain decides to investigate, he is joined by one of his colleagues and a snoopy female reporter who discovered the same information somehow? The captain confiscates Zorka's material and takes his colleague, Anne, Mallory, and the reporter on a plane, which Zorka accidentally causes to crash. The crash kills Zorka's wife, and he vows to get his revenge and also recover his stolen possession. His plans are foiled by a pair of foreign spies who were going to buy his mineral from him and by West's team of intelligence agents. The movie essentially continues as a giant tug of war between Zorka, the spies, and West's military intelligence team. There are several scenes of chases, battles, and devious plots to recover the mineral. One battle has the military fighting against Zorka's giant robot, while others showcase Zorka using his invisibility belt to stealthily retrieve his property, where he always refers to himself as the Phantom. Because the movie was originally a serial and not a full-fledged motion picture, its scenes become somewhat repetitive, with someone stealing the mineral from the last person who had it, to the two other parties vying for control of it, to a giant chase or battle to get it back. Covering each one would actually make this video seem just as repetitive as the movie itself. So, the climax of the movie comes when Zorka creates an absurd amount of his dangerous mineral, enough to blow up the world in Zorka's own words, and he and Monk hijack a plane to escape the authorities. The military quickly sends a fleet of fighter planes to intervene, which is pointless because West stops them all from shooting, because if they accidentally hit the mineral, they would all die. Meanwhile, Zorka drops vial after vial of his mineral onto the ground below, creating tons of stock footage explosions, among which is the Hindenburg of all things. Once Zorka realizes he can't escape, which might have been obvious when he hijacked a small plane and people started following him, he forces Monk to crash the plane and kill them both. Captain West and Dr. Mallory are given awards by the President of the United States for their actions, and the Snoopy reporter is offered a job at the White House. And thus ends the movie. The Phantom Creep can almost be seen as a precursor to miniseries we see today, similar to Stephen King's It, The Odyssey, or even shows like American Horror Story, whose entire plot is told over multiple seasons, not just individual episodes. It's full of stock footage and huge jumps in both logic on the part of the characters, but also the ideas that came from the writers. Back in its day, it didn't garner much attention. This was the same year that Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, The Wizard of Oz, and Stagecoach were released after all. Looking back on it, one can appreciate its campiness, being chock full of robots, pseudoscience invisibility rays, mad scientists, the requisite Dame reporter, Moxie-filled lawmen, and a very liberal use of stock footage. If nothing else, The Phantom Creeps was a film that can be appreciated for being a product of its time and showcasing a great many popularized ideas in a single setting. But if you watched it to see one of Lugosi's creepy or terrifying performances, you'll be sorely disappointed since this was not among those roles for him. That concludes today's review. Tune in tomorrow for another Halloween horror review. I hope you all enjoyed the video, enjoy the rest of your day, and stay positive.